I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High God.
Hello, choir. Wonderful offering last Sunday with the love of Christ. With our next anthem, which is a lively setting of Psalm 91, we will change style, tempo, and accompaniment. This anthem is quick in the style of a modern gospel and is a cappella. Our church family will be tapping their toes as they listen to us sing. Maybe they will even sing along. But before we get to the musical notes, some things popped out with the text of this anthem, and I just wanted to have a little devotional. This is a little long, but just hear me out. As the title indicates, the text is derived from Psalm 91. This is the psalm where we get the famous passage of the Lord lifting us up on eagle's wings. I was reading Matthew 4 the other day about Jesus' temptation in the wilderness, and Satan quotes this very psalm to try to trick Jesus into doubting God. Here's the passage. The devil took him, Jesus, to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone." Jesus said to him, "Again it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." When I read this, I looked in the footnotes to read the commentaries and was surprised to see that Satan quoted Psalm 91, the very topic of our anthem. First, when you think about it, doesn't it seem weird that Satan would quote Scripture? You think he would flee from Scripture like a vampire flees from a cross, but I guess that's the influence of popular culture. Satan is using our very own God-given resource against us, and he does it the same way he deceived Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, subtly changing what God says. In tempting Jesus, Satan is subtly twisting the meaning of verses 1 and 2 in this psalm. These are two verses you'll recognize. Here they are. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Notice the passage says, my God, in whom I trust, and not my God, in whom I test. I think this is something we can all think about and pray about this week. In what areas of our lives are we trusting God, and in what areas of our lives are we testing God? Okay, devotional over. Just wanted to share that with you. Let's move on to musical notes. First, form. The form of this piece is basically A, B, A. So it's like a ternary form where we repeat A twice, we go to a contrasting phrase for B, and then go back to A. And the way the composer does it is he does A, transition material to a repeat of A, then transition material to B, and then to A. All right? Phrasing and breathing. Breathing is clear. Sing through all the phrases as written, and breathe where there are rests. Pretty clear. Okay? Well, let's look at that. So look, you can see right here. I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High God. Breathe. I will dum bum 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 bum. So it's pretty clear. The breathing and phrasing is very clear. But there are some special notes here that I want to bring to your attention, okay? So top of page 2, measures 9 and 10, sopranos have long notes, and you sing it all the way through. So top of measure 2, you can see right here, the sopranos have that note that you carry all the way through, and then you stop at the beginning of measure 11. And the choir will sing underneath you. And you can see that the choir has a rest. Well, the rest of the choir, altos, tenors, and basses. Okay? So that's an interesting feature of this piece. All right? And just to review, you can see that those lower voices do take a breath. But let's look ahead a little bit more. The composer indicates that he wants us not to breathe in these two places. Look right here. There's a tie. I will dwell in the shelter. I will dwell in the shelter. Breathe. I will shall. So make sure you observe those indications. So there's two of them there. I'm having a hard time seeing around the paper, but look in your music. There are two places. There they are. There's one. There's the first tie. It starts right up here, and then the second tie is right there. The section leaders will do this. So follow the section leaders, sing all the way through those particular places. Okay, the last note of the piece, you cut off after 1.5 measures right here. This very last note in the piece, if you count it out on the demo recording, this note right down here, of the Almighty, you'll see that's 1.5 measures. And I'm going to count it like this. It'll go, of the Almighty, wait, of the Almighty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, off. And I'll conduct it something like this, you know, of the Almighty, off. It'll look something like that. You may need to listen to it a couple times and practice that, and then listen to the section leaders. They'll do it very, very well. I have confidence in them. I'm not going to put them to the test. I'm going to trust them. You see, I'm already applying the devotional. Okay, and there's a gradual crescendo at the very end. You can see it right there, that gradual crescendo. So over those beats, you want to gradually get louder, and we have a nice cutoff at the end. All right, entrances and cutoffs. Okay, there's a cutoff after the meter change on page 2, measure 9. I already kind of pointed it out, but let me show you again. Since it's a page turn, that might sneak up and get some people. So the altos, tenor, and basses have a breath there while the sopranos keep going. All right. Let me see. Sopranos keep going until cutting off at the beginning of measure 11. I think I'm repeating myself now, but I'm going to do this conducting video in one take because I got a bunch of stuff to do. So sopranos, make sure you sing this particular place all the way through to measure 11. And there's one other place that you do this in the song, okay? But look closely. Okay, here's a big thing. Interjections. There's a bunch of interjections in this piece where a section might throw in a couple of words here and there, all right? And a lot of the interjections go to sopranos, okay? And then tenors, and then one for the alto, and the basses have none. I guess the basses are just rather compliant in this piece. Anyway, let's look at these, okay? So the sopranos have a lot of long notes and interjections, and we want to make these rhythmically precise. In these instances, you will see lines or words above the staff to guide you, sopranos. Okay, let's look at a couple of these on page 2. Look right here. You can see right here, I will dwell. You can see the interjection right there. The choir is doing something, but the arrangers are good, the editors are good, that they give you some information to help it stand out. And right there, you have another one. And we want to really make this nice and crisp, so we're singing "oh" at the same time. Oh, I will dwell in the shelter of the... And you'll see this kind of feature throughout the piece, sopranos, where your line is above the staff to clearly show you your interjections and your sustained notes. Okay, the tenors. Tenors have 3 interjections. Let's check them out. So we have one on page, well actually 2. Page 3. We have 2 on page 3. Measure 19, there's the first one. We want to make sure we line that up. Fortress and shield, and I will. So tenors, we really want to make that stand out. We don't want the sopranos to get all the interjections. Okay, and then there's one down here, right before the page turn, tenors. You see that? Call on him, call on him. Let me see if I can point it out. Right there. So we want to make sure we get that one. And tenors, there's one more on page 5. There it is. right here, just like the first one we had. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. And guess what, tenors? Tenors, we're the last ones to get an interjection. We get the last word. Okay, then the altos, you have an interjection on page 4. And I'm pointing these out because I really want these to line up, to be nice and precise. Top of page 4, there you go. On him. All right? Right there. Again, I really want these to line up to help the whole piece be crisp and rhythmic. Okay, dynamics. Dynamics are simpler for this piece. Forte throughout. Now, this doesn't mean singing your loudest. That would be triple forte. This means singing with a full, strong, robust tone throughout the piece. In reality, there will be some dynamic changes as we sing in different parts of our range. But I want to keep the dynamics simple so you can focus on rhythmic precision. So, forte and commitment all the way through on this piece. And reminder, notice the crescendo on the last note that I mentioned earlier. Be intentional about making a gradual crescendo on that very last note. All right? No video notes. Y'all are doing a great job. Once again, if you need to review about how to make a good video, you have access to that video recording instruction sheet. And should you need it and you can't find it, text me, email me, I will send it to you. But you should be able to find it in the description box of the video. All right, enjoy video recording this anthem. This is a neat piece. It'll be a change in style, being a cappella, but our church family is really going to enjoy this. They really are. And we're giving Karen and Leslie a break, a well-deserved break. All right, have fun. One, two, three, 4.
I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High God. I will say of the Lord, He is my strength. I will say He's my refuge, my fortress, my shield. I will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will dwell in the shelter. 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 I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High God. And I will say of the Lord, He is my strength. I will say He's my refuge, my fortress, my shield. And I will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will dwell in the shelter. I will dwell in the shelter. I can call on Him, and He will answer. I can call on Him, and He'll be with me. I can call on Him in time of trouble. He will deliver me. I will dwell in the shelter of the Most High God. And I will say of the Lord, He is my strength. I will say He's my refuge, my fortress, my shield. And I will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will dwell in the shelter of the Almighty. I will dwell in the shelter